I still thank God every day that I was able to do what I did because, you know, I can't tell you the amount of people that told me I was too far gone or said I would never make it, never be able to be sober. And, you know, the fact that I could do this, I feel like he could do anything. So I definitely want him to know, you know, not feel it as I'm a bad person, but know where I came from and be able to realize that, you know, Daddy stepped up to the plate and changed for both of us, not just for him. Honestly, at first, you know, I was trying to bottle it up and ignore it, you know, because every time I thought about it, I'd, you know, get that lump in my throat, my stomach would start hurting, I'd start feeling bad, you know, start welling up with tears. And that's when my counselor and the other people at Chestnut told me, like, you're not going to ever be able to confront this issue and accept it and move on from it if you don't talk about it and get it out. And so that's what I started doing. I started, every day we would have a thing called Daily Reflections where everybody would get together and we'd have like a mini AA meeting. And we'd all, you know, tell them stuff that's bothering them. I cried almost every day, admitting different stuff I did, you know, different things my son had to see. I recall breaking down in front of everybody because of, you know, telling them the story about how I disrespected my dad and my stepdad and my mom, you know, telling them different things. But before, I would never let the stuff out. I would just bottle it up inside and ignore it like it wasn't there. Now, finally, I've told people my wrongs, and I've been honest with my sponsor and my counselors and stuff, and being able to say it and get it out, and, you know, realize that that's the person I was and that's the things I did, but realize that I can grow from it and change that, and that what's done is done. I can't change it. There's no reason to cry about it or to dwell on it or to be upset about it. But the main thing is that I need to grow from it. I need to make sure I don't make those same mistakes again. A lot of times I take myself back to that jail cell when, you know, like I said before, when I was in the same jail cell again. I just spent 2 months in it and been out for like a month and got put back in the same exact cell, which is, you know, it's not uncommon in Knox County, but it's pretty uncommon. And I remember, the one thing that I always remember that still sticks with me really strongly is I remember I had pasted his pictures up in the cell, and there was still like the toothpaste left over from the glue I used to stick them to the wall. And I remember the emptiness I felt when I got put in that cell and I looked up and I saw the glue on the wall. And I remembered all the time, like that whole 2 months that I'd sat there telling myself I was going to change, you know, and then just ended right back up in there. And that's a lot of my driving force. Like, I mean, obviously no one wants to go to jail, but for me, it's not about jail. Jail's easy. I mean, it's not, you know, I mean, it's not a walk in the park, but it's not the hardest thing ever. You know, you get food brought to you every day and you don't have to work or worry about bills. But the fact is that the thing I have to remind myself is that I'm taking myself away from my son, and that's what I tend to come back to when I start thinking about things like that. Because, you know, a lot of the times, like obviously with my addictive behavior, I'll think in my head like I can do it just once, you know, and then I gotta snap myself back into reality. I can't do it just once, and if I do one, I'm gonna do 1,000. If I do 1,000, I'm gonna go back to jail. And that's usually always the memory I bring myself back to, is how horrible I felt when I was sitting in that jail cell.